Okay, have you ever Googled yourself?
Oh my gosh, that's embarrassing. Yeah.
Just to see?
Yes, sometimes you want to know what people say about you, and then you wish you never did.
Exactly, it's always kind of the opposite.
Widely known as the most powerful woman executive in sports, Charlotte Jones Anderson serves as the Executive Vice President and Chief Brand Officer for the Dallas Cowboys.
You are so passionate about what you do, and you put so much of yourself into everything you do. It's a different work, life than a 9-to-5. Yeah. I don't think you'd ever call this a 9-to-5.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think I would. I've always said that I have much preferred the roller coaster to a merry-go-round. Yeah. And I think when you sign up and buy that e-ticket ride, you're in for it. So that means you're going to get extreme highs, and you're also going to get the lows that go with it. But the ride, and what it's all about, I think, that's the direction that you choose, and so you take with it as it comes.
The roller coaster ride began in 1989 when the Jones family purchased the Dallas Cowboys franchise. After graduating from Stanford University and a stint in politics on Capitol Hill, Charlotte made the ultimate decision to change her path.
I got a phone call when I was in D.C., and it was pretty random. He said, "Do you have any idea, what biker shorts are?" I'm like, "Biker shorts? Why are you calling me in Washington asking me about biker shorts?" And he said, "There's a line of women outside of my office that think I want to change their uniform from hot pants to biker shorts. And I don't even know where their studio is, much less know, what the uniform is." He said, "Can you come down and handle the crisis?" And it's like, "Sure, I'll come down," and came down for the weekend, and we kind of moved things along and got everything sorted out over there. And then while I was here, he said, would you stay? And I said, "Well, I have no idea what the first step would be." And he said, "Well, I don't either, but together we'll figure it out, and we will fail, and we will correct, and eventually we will find a way to be successful."
What I had no idea was that I was going to call on my only daughter, and I was going to ask her to join me, and I was going to selfishly use her enthusiasm, use her energy, use her future, if you would. We're going to have to call on some of that baby, and we're going to have to use some of that time. And there's going to be a lot of times when it's not happening, but this girl is tough, and that's not Daddy talking.
Your father has always given you this confidence, your mom too, and that is so special, especially for a father-daughter relationship. As far as, I believe in you, I know that you can do this, I trust in you. I've heard you say that he said you could do anything.
I think back to when I was growing up and in high school, and then actually in D.C. too, and he always had more confidence in me than I had in myself. When I was in D.C., that was hard. It was a really difficult situation. People always ask me about what it's like being in a male environment here. The challenge I had was being in a male environment there, and going through the things that I went through while I was there, and calling home to my dad going, "Oh my gosh, you're not gonna believe what happened to me today." And all he would say was, "Hold your chin up," and he said, "This builds character. Get back in there and fight. This builds character." And finally I remember calling him one day and going, "I've had enough character already." It's like, I'm done here. How much more of this do I have to endure? And I think, I think you learn sometimes at the moments that are the most challenging to you is where you find some incredible opportunities. And I think if you can take those challenging moments and those very trying times and try to figure out where the opportunity is in it, then that's where you will have your greatest success.
During her family's time with the Cowboys, Charlotte has witnessed the team go to 13 postseasons and take home 3 Super Bowl trophies. But she has also been there for the most challenging seasons.
It's funny. Unfortunately, we have a few.
And it's okay.
And we try to change those as much as we can. But you step up and you move forward. And after a disappointing day on Sunday, especially when you have a level of expectation like we do and like our fans do, when you don't meet that expectation, that's hard, and there's probably no one that takes it any harder than our family and my dad. I mean, because that's obviously the ultimate goal, is to be successful on the field. And when you miss that bar, that's a hard Monday. I mean, it's certainly hard for the players, but it is equally hard for us. And you know, I find myself on the phone calling my dad, and I said, the sun did come up today, you know, let's keep going. And he always says, you shouldn't be the one calling me, I should be the one calling you. And you know, you always revert back to, are you kidding me? I have the opportunity to be involved with the Dallas Cowboys.
It's pretty surreal.
The sun comes up every day. It's just a matter of how bright.
Her role has grown to include overseeing all branding and marketing efforts, the Cowboys' robust content creation and media, and all her vision has guided the development of both AT&T Stadium and the Star. In the same time, her role as a mom has also grown. Together with her husband Shai, they've raised 3 children while juggling responsibilities with the Cowboys.
I'll never forget when Paxton, our youngest, was young. Because when I had Haley, we didn't have computers, just so you know. But so by the time we got our third one here, we did have computers. And I'll never forget the night that I am at home working, and he crawls in, and he couldn't really speak much either, and he goes to the cord and he just pulled it out of the wall. And that's when I realized that I was so distracted with work that if he knows it and he's just a baby, that it is the computer that's keeping my attention away from him, that maybe something should change. And so that's when I decided that, you know what, I need to figure out a way to find a balance, that when I'm with them, I'm totally with them, and that when I'm here, I'm totally here. And I think we all struggle trying to figure out where that balance actually is. I've always thought that you could always have everything that you wanted, maybe just not all at the same time. And I think when you figure out how to let the pendulum swing and figure out where you are in that point of your life, I think if you can cut yourself some slack and realize that when you're dialing in, you're all in, and you're probably more focused than someone that's with their children, 12 hours a day, then if you can get yourself at peace and be happy with the person you see in the mirror, then you can be happy.
Even with all of her success and accolades, her biggest project remains leaving an inspiring legacy for her children.
I don't know if my kids will ever be involved in this organization. I mean, they love it. They love everything that we do. I think that's why I get to work so much, is that they are always coming up with ideas and inputting at every level, which is great. I've got my own focus group. We're on the breakfast table.
Think
awesome.
tank.
Yes. But what you want to be able to do is hopefully inspire them to be passionate about something. And I think for them to be able to use their own gifts and their own talents to make a difference. And whatever that looks like may be very different than what it looks like for me, but I just want them to be able to see that if you do and you direct that energy and you direct your own focus to something, that you really can do something significant. And I think I would just hope that at the end of my day, that I've been able to do that, is to inspire them to be the best that they can be.
I love that. So good.